Sawadee and thanks for joining us on Newsline for Tuesday, February 18th of 2014. My name is Sandra Hanutsaha. In this morning's top stories, the Government Savings Bank is suspending its lending to the BAAC after suffering massive account closures. And in business news, the Office of the National Economic and Social Development Board has lowered its forecast of the 2014 GDP growth to 3 to 4%. And now on to the details of today's headlines. The Center for Maintaining Peace and Order, or CMPO, has announced that it will reclaim 5 rally sites from supporters of the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or PDRC, this week. CMPO Director and Labor Minister Chalam Yubamrung disclosed that the 5 targeted areas include the Government House, Ratchadamnon and Jangwatanat roads, and the Energy and Interior Ministries. He implored protesters to leave the demonstration sites while stressing the police department would mainly use negotiations in its mission. He underlined Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawat's statement of not using violence in retaking the public areas. Meanwhile, PDRC Secretary General Suteb Tuksuban yesterday led a band of PDRC supporters to the Government House in their bid to prevent the Prime Minister from entering the premises. He also challenged the authorities to arrest him inside the building. The Students and People Network for Thailand's Reform, or NSPRT, also stated it would join the PDRC in laying siege to the Government House tomorrow, threatening the gathering might be escalated if government officials attempt to enter the premises. The Election Commissioner EC has expressed willingness to mull over various suggestions from the government concerning the re-elections in 28 constituencies in the South, but indicates that the voting will likely take place after March 2nd. Election Commissioner Somchai Sisutiakon called a meeting with EC officials, academics, and representatives of the government, including Deputy Prime Ministers Pongtep Kanchana and Waratep Ratanakon, and Justice Minister Chaikasem Nitisiri. The main objective was to brainstorm ideas on how to address problems in the election process. During the discussion, the government officials advised that the EC open out-of-area registrations as well as online registrations of MP candidates for 28 constituencies in southern provinces where no one applied for candidacy during the previous round. Police and military bases were proposed as polling venues for the re-elections, while the EC was urged to ensure that information about the printing of ballot papers was kept confidential. The EC was also requested to allow any member of the public to apply to become the supervisor of each polling station. Any electoral staff found to be neglecting their duties would be subject to serious disciplinary action. In response to the government's assertion that the voting in the 28 constituencies would need to be held no later than March 2nd, Mr. Somchai said it would not be possible. He reasoned that the difference in opinion between the EC and the government over issues concerning the rearrangement of the polls had prompted the Commission to seek judgment from the Constitutional Court, which would lead to a delay in the process. Customers of the Government Savings Bank, or GSB, have flocked to the nearest branches to close their accounts after the bank began giving loans to the Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, or BAAC, for unknown purposes, forcing the GSB to stall the lending process. In the wake of the GSB's announcement that it had decided to provide a 20 billion baht interbank loan to the BAAC, GSB President Warawit Chailipamontri admitted that the decision had severely impacted customers' confidence. Since the first day the news was broken, throngs of depositors terminated their accounts, causing at least 30 billion baht to be withdrawn from GSB branches across the country. Many branches reportedly ran out of cash and had to issue cashier's checks for the departing customers. As the trend of withdrawals was expected to continue in the days to come, Mr. Warowitz said he had instructed all branches to reserve enough cash. According to the GSB president, most of the people closing their accounts were in Bangkok and its vicinities, as well as the southern region. He revealed that there were many large amount customers with a combined deposit of tens of billions of baht who were contemplating retrieving their money as well. Out of the total loan of 20 billion baht, Mr. Warowitz disclosed that 5 billion baht had been paid out. However, as a consequence of the massive withdrawals, he said the GSB had ordered to have the remaining 15 million baht withheld in a bid to shore up the confidence of depositors. Should the money given to the BAAC be used to pay farmers in the rice pledging scheme as feared, he insisted that the loan agreement would be canceled immediately. Rice growers visited Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, or BAAC, branches throughout the country on Monday to claim the rice mortgage payment the government owed them. With the new round of money transfer to the BAAC made by the government, BAAC branches were able to restart payment of money owed to the farmers. In Nakhon Ratchasima, farmers visiting the BAAC on Monday told reporters they will use the money received to pay for fertilizer and harvester and truck rental. Pranao Sunthon Pakdi, manager of the BAAC's Pimai branch, said the Nakhon Ratchasima branches still need 496 million baht more to pay farmers who participated in the government's rice pledging program. In Buriram, a total of 108 million baht has been transferred to the 22 BAAC branches in the province. So far, 1.287 billion baht has been paid to around 13,000 paddy farmers in the province. Around 70,000 farmers are still waiting to be paid. Rice growers reportedly visited the BAAC branch in Chainat province on Monday. However, they were not there to demand their mortgage payment, but were there only to withdraw money in their savings accounts to pay for various expenses. The Department of Consular Affairs is extending its service hours at its main office on Dangwatana Road to increase its passport issuing capacity, compensating for the long backlog incurred from the prolonged shutdown of the Dangwatana government complex. Department Director General Thongchai Chasawat said all passport offices in the country have switched back to using the department's online system for passport issuance after the system was switched off on Friday due to authorities reclaiming of the government complex. From today onward, the service hours will be between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. The number of temporary service booths at Queen Sirikit National Convention Center will be increased to 28 booths from the current 20. These adjustments will allow the department to provide around 7,000 to 7,500 passports per day to the public. Mr. Thongchai noted, however, that the number of staff will be decreased at the department's headquarters due to safety concerns. This will result in the mailing of passports to take 1 day longer. Those in Bangkok will receive their passports within 7 days, whereas those in the province will get theirs within 9 days. The Foreign Affairs Ministry has instructed the Thai Embassy in Japan to extend assistance to Thai nationals affected by severe snowstorms in the East Asian country. A recent snowstorm in Japan has left 3 people dead and 850 injured amid further disruptions to the country's road, rail, and air travel services. What has been dubbed the heaviest snowfall in decades has left at least 11 people dead and more than 1,200 injured across the nation. The embassy has reached out to Thai travelers stranded in Japanese cities, offering assistance and safety advice. Thai citizens staying in Japan have been urged to stock up on food and water, as well as avoid air travel during the period of February 17th to 21st. A special hotline has also been set up to expedite help to those affected. The ministry made known that a large number of Thais have contacted the hotline in a bid to request help and information. Forecasters report that another fresh storm is expected from February 19th to 20th. Thai nationals in Japan have been urged to closely follow weather updates. Last year, over 150,000 Thai visitors traveled to Japan, a 74% increase from the year before. The governor of Lampang province has welcomed Mr. Lufti Rauf, ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Kingdom of Thailand, during his official visit to the province to discuss a wide range of cooperation. Ambassador Lufti Rauf, during his tour of Lampang, paid a courtesy call on Governor Thailand Supasan. Both sides exchanged thoughts and ideas on mutual cooperation regarding social development, economic expansion, and political matters. The visit was also aimed at strengthening bilateral relations between the two sides. During the talk, Mr. Lufti expressed his great interest in Lampang's arts and culture, as well as outstanding tourist attractions. The ambassador also suggested ways for Thailand and Indonesia to establish cultural relations, as there are many Muslims living in Thailand. He also mentioned about both countries' plan on becoming trade partners for halal food in preparation for the advent of the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC. Lastly, Ambassador Lufti said Thailand and Indonesia should focus more on academic collaboration in order for both countries to provide their peoples with education that meets international standards. And the Japan External Trade Organization, or JETRO, is organizing a Japanese food fair to introduce new flavors from different prefectures of the country to Thailand. And Kun Orapa Choiprasit has the story for us.
So I'm here at the Discover New Taste from Japan fair, where 7 famous restaurants from all across of Japan are here to show their best. Highlights include milfoi sushi, healthy soba noodles, and of course, coconuts. Discover New Taste from Japan is being held at Gateway Egamai Shopping Complex from February the 14th to March the 23rd. 7 famous restaurants with different regional specialities are showcasing their signature dishes, which include milfoi sushi, healthy soba noodles, and croissant donuts or cronuts. According to JETRO Vice President Kazufumi Tanaka, the popularity of Japanese cuisine in Thailand has attracted the interest of many Japanese restaurant operators. Famous restaurants displaying their unique taste at the fair include Tenjin, Todai Ramen, and Croissant Donut New York. These businesses have made plans to expand their branches to Thailand, and the fair is an exceptional platform for restaurants to assess the Thai consumer market. Croissant Donut New York, for example, is known for oil-free half-croissant, half-donut hybrids. Tenjin, meanwhile, is an award-winning udon restaurant from Yokohama. The organization noted the kingdom's growing fondness towards Japanese food as the younger generation appreciates the healthy and convenient nature of the cuisine. There are currently around 1,800 Japanese restaurants in Thailand, and the growth is likely to continue. The increasing purchasing power among the newer demographics in the country has driven up the industry's competitiveness. Based on researchers, JETRO sees an opportunity for new investors to set up their base in Thailand. The Organization to Promote Japanese Restaurants Abroad, or JRO, has said they expect the number of Japanese eateries in Thailand to jump to 3,000 in 3 to 4 years' time. That is up 50% from this year's. Thailand is reportedly the world's 7th largest market for Japanese food. This is Orapa Choiprasit reporting.
Thanks to Kun Orapa for that report, and that's the end of our first segment. We now take a short break, but up next, most Southeast Asian stocks ended firmer yesterday, so don't go away.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thainess to the world. new dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department, Creative Media for the Society, mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติและมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline, and first up in our business news, the Office of the National Economic and Social Development Board, or NESDB, has lowered its forecast of the 2014 GDP growth to 3 to 4% due to delays in the government's investment projects and dismal domestic consumption. The NESDB issued an announcement in which its GDP growth forecast for this year was adjusted down to 3 to 4%, from the previous prediction of 4 to 5% made in November 2013. The revision of the GDP growth estimate was attributed partly to pending investments by the public sector, especially in the 2.2 trillion baht infrastructure mega projects. Less of the 2014 budget will likely be dispersed due to the unfinished election process and the absence of the new government. In the private sector, investment is expected to grow only 3.8%, as opposed to 5.8% forecast earlier. Major hindrances include a slowdown in economic recovery and flagging business sentiment. Estimated growth in household spending was also cut down to 1.4% on the back of the weakening consumer confidence. Furthermore, the NESDB also reduced its estimate of tourist arrivals from 28 million people to 27.5 million, which would constitute a 3% expansion. The agency cited foreign countries' issuance of travel advisories against Thailand as a reason for the reduction, adding that the number of foreign visitors in January increased by a mere 0.06%. The director of the Tourism Authority of Thailand, or TAT, in Hong Kong, Thitiphorn Maninate, revealed that her office has devised a plan to attract Hong Kong visitors to the kingdom despite the intense political situation. Ms. Thitiphorn said that the TAT Hong Kong office would direct potential travelers away from Bangkok to popular destinations unaffected by political turmoil, such as Phuket, Chiang Rai, and Chiang Mai. The adjustment in tourism strategy comes amid the ongoing political protest that prompted Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawat's administration to impose an emergency decree in the capital, effectively causing the Hong Kong government to raise its travel advisory to Bangkok to the highest warning level. Director Thitiphorn said the announcement had scared off 24% of 50,000 prospective Hong Kong visitors during the Chinese New Year celebration. She said that airlines offering direct flights from Hong Kong to destinations in Thailand have now started a promotion campaign to provide discounted tickets. The director gave as an example Hong Kong Airlines, which is offering a one-way ticket to Thailand for just 2,100 baht at the end of March. Return tickets from Hong Kong to Thailand usually cost around 12,000 baht. According to the Thai Lifestyle Products Federation, or TLPF, the lifestyle goods industry this year can expect to generate 100 billion baht in revenue, an increase of 5% compared to the figures in 2013. The projection is the highest in 5 years, said TLPF's Secretary Jiraboon Wittiasinghe, adding that positive factors include the economic recovery of European countries and America, as well as the weakening of the Thai baht, which is now in a range of 32 to 33 baht against the greenback. He said that the United States contributes 25% to the overall export sector. Mr. Jiraboon further stated that Thailand's lifestyle goods industry also benefited from the current disputes between Japan and China, as well as between Australia and Indonesia, leading to declines in trade to and from those countries. Thailand is currently offering a wide range of lifestyle products, including souvenirs, items of home decoration and furniture, as well as household appliances, toys, stationery, and office supplies. And most Southeast Asian stocks ended firmer yesterday, led by Thailand and Indonesia on hopes of foreign funds returning to emerging markets, while positive earnings also helped boost sentiment. Thailand's SET index jumped 1.6% to its highest close since December 25th, led by a 2.8% gain in the country's top oil company, PTT Public Company Limited. Airports of Thailand, which posted a better-than-expected quarterly net profit, also jumped 4%, helping the overall Bangkok index. Analysts said domestic political concerns could hinder the overall performance of the market and foreign buying, as Thailand's economy slowed significantly in the final quarter of 2013 when the unrest started. The Thai market saw a net outflow of $12.3 million, extending its net outflow to $897.9 million in the last 16 straight sessions. Jakarta's composite index gained 1.1% to a more than 1.5-month high, helped by a net foreign inflow of $5.7 million on Monday. Foreigners have bought a net $133.9 million worth risky assets in Jakarta. Singapore shares ended 1% higher at more than 3-week highs, led by banks after positive earnings from United Overseas Bank Limited lifted its shares to their highest in 2.5 weeks on Monday. The Philippines' main index gained 0.9% to a 3-week high with an inflow of $4.53 million, and Malaysian shares rose 0.5% to a 5-week closing high. Bucking the trend, Vietnam ended 0.4% weaker due to profit-taking in most blue chips, while investors bought small and mid-cap shares. And before our next break, let's have a quick look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thainess to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back to Newsline. The National Institute of Educational Testing Service, or NIETS, is confident that there were no cheating cases during the two-day ONET examinations held over the weekend and that their results should be released by the end of March. The NIETS director, Sampan Pampruk, stated that the February 15th to 16th ONET examinations were attended by 431,127 students, with 103 being visually impaired. The director said that there had been no reports of cheating so far, adding that the NIETS deployed 2 different versions of the exam in order to prevent cheating. He said NIETS authorities were urged to be extra careful in crafting the content of the exam, stressing that each answer sheet would be checked multiple times before they finalized the score. Students partaking in the examination were not allowed to take any kind of communication devices into the exam room. The ONET examinations for grade 8, 9, and 12 were concluded last Sunday, Mr. Sampan said, adding that the grade 12 exam results are expected to be released on March 31st. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just simply type in NNT, or check out our website at timenews.prd.go.th/newsing. That's NEWSENG. And we're going to say goodbye with the sand dune, which has appeared in the middle of the Mekong River. And despite the early arrival of the dry season, the dune has attracted quite a number of tourists to Ubon Ratchathani province. Have a wonderful day. I'm Sandra Hanud Saha. Sawasdee ka.